What's going on? I'm going to be going over my first place Galaxy deck profile. Into the profile, we'll start out with the eggs. It's pretty easy to guess what it is. 4 Sunmon. Whenever a Digimon is tucked from the top to the bottom, you're able to Digivolve with cost reduced by 1. So it is a great egg to just cycle through basically your 4s. 4 of that, no reason to play any other eggs. On to the 3s. For the best 3 is Lunamon. So we have 4 Lunamon. It is 3 cost, so it's good to just play it out sometimes. And then start a main by returning one of your Digimon to the hand, gain 2 memory. So, I mean, honestly, you can even play itself out and then start a main, bounce it back, you gain 2 memory. You just start off your turn with a little extra memory. And then for its inheritable, you have main once per turn by placing the top card of this Digimon with the Night Claw or Light Fang trait to the bottom, gain 2 memory. And then that also triggers the egg, so you're able to just cycle through your Digimon that way, draw a ton of cards, search a ton of cards. For the other level 3, we have 4 Coronamon, the second best one in the deck. So this one is start of main. If you have a Tamer with the Light Fang or Night Claw trait, gain 1 memory. So if you have your Tamer out, you promote this, you're gaining memory starting off at 4 because the only Tamer we play is a memory setter. Then the inheritable is exactly the same as Lunamon, so you're able to just cycle through, activate the Sunmon, Digivolve for cheaper. And the other level 3 I play is the Agumon from the Light Fang Night Claw support. It is on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Light Fang trait card and 1 Night Claw trait card, or 1 2-colored card among them to the hand, put the rest to the bottom. And inheritable is all your opponent's security Digimon get minus 3000 DP. That one is not as important, not nearly as important as the rest, but it does help you out sometimes. I had it come up a couple games actually. And then the fact that this is 3 to play is pretty good, so you're able to play this for 3, promote the Lunamon, bounce this, and usually if you're playing a 3 cost out, you're able to choke your opponent. Now on to the level 4s. We have 4 Lekismon. So Lekismon, 4 to play, 2 to Digivolve, and it Digivolves all of our level 3s because it Digivolves on Nightclaw and Light Fang for 2. But on play for 4 memory, or when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 card with the Nightclaw and 1 card with the Light Fang or Galaxy trait among them to the hand, return the rest to the bottom of the deck. And then its inheritable is this Digimon gets 2000 DP during your opponent's turn. So that one actually comes up a lot because you're able to swing at your opponent, and then you're pretty big if you have a few of these in your stack. Then your opponent's not able to swing back over you. And then we have 4 of the Firemon. Firemon is 4 to play, 2 to Digivolve. It also Digivolves over all of our level 3s. And same on play and when Digivolving as Lekismon. And then the inheritable is this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP during your turn. So it makes you bigger, so you're able to swing over bodies on your turn, so you're able to swing over your opponent's bodies. And that's basically about it. It doesn't usually come up that you need it for security Digimon because we're playing 4 of the Galgamon. So Galgamon, 5 to play, 2 to Digivolve. Play cost doesn't really come up that much. You're not going to be hard playing this guy like the other level 4s. But he has a when Digivolving, both players draw 1 card, and then if your opponent has 8 or more cards, or this Digimon has 3 or more Digilution cards, gain 1 memory. So you usually have the second effect if you don't have the first effect, and then inheritable jamming. So he gives you jamming so you don't have to worry about your opponent's security, and he just lets you cycle a lot. So those are the 4s you play. They're basically all necessary. Lets you search, lets you draw cards, gives you jamming, gives you DP on your turn, gives you DP on your opponent's turn. And now on to the 5s. We have 4 of Cresemon. So Cresemon is 7 to hard play, 3 to Digivolve. It has an effect of when this card would be played or Digivolved into if you have a Digimon with 3 or more Digivolution cards, and the Nightclaw or Light Fang or Galaxy trait, reduce the play or Digivolution cost by 2. And then on play when Digivolving until the end of your opponent's turn, one of their Digimon can't suspend. So that comes up quite a bit because you're able to just stun a body, they can't attack you, they can't block you, they can't Digizorb, I guess, other things like that. Like the green bird deck, they like to suspend their own guys, so this prevents that. And then the inheritable is opponent's turn. This Digimon gets plus 2000 DP. So that is useful just like it is for Lekismon, because you're usually swinging and then you're able to have more DP on your opponent's turn so they can't really swing over you. And then we play 2 Flaremon. So Flaremon, same play cost, same Digivolve cost, and the same reduction. And then the on play when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5000 DP or less. So this is good to get rid of small bodies and floodgates. And then the inheritable is your turn. This Digimon gets plus 2000 DP. So like I said before, good to swing over opponent's Digimon. And on to the rest of the level 5s. Kind of just have a toolbox here. So we have 1 Zudomon ace. You're kind of playing out Lekismon a lot, and sometimes you end on a 4. So this is pretty good, so you can surprise your opponent because they're not always going to expect you to play the level 5 ace. 4 to hard play, 3 to Digivolve, but then it has Blast Digivolve. On play when Digivolving, trash any 2 Digivolution cards from your opponent's Digimon. Then return one of their opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards to the hand. So it's pretty good to clear bodies, especially if your opponent isn't expecting it. They swing into you, you blast, you're able to strip sources, bounce something, and then when it comes back to your turn, you can Digivolve into 6. Then we have the one of Mac Gagomon. I still think this is pretty good to play because it bounces one of your opponent's level 4s to the hand when Digivolving. It's 3 to Digivolve, and then its inheritable is when attacking once per turn. If your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, unsuspend this Digimon. And you're giving your opponent free cards with the Gagomon, so you're usually going to get that off. And then the last level 5, we have Mega Seadramon X Antibody. This one is a little more hefty of a play cost at 8. Don't really hard play it at all. The Digivolution cost is 3, just like the rest. And then on play, when Digivolving, return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower to the bottom of the deck. And then the rest doesn't matter because I don't play X Antibody or Mega Seadramon. And then inheritable, your turn. This Digimon's attack can't be changed. It's pretty good against Magnamon or anything with blocker or redirect like Mega Kabuterimon. And that's it for the 5s. Definitely playing more blue this time than last time. I had the Flaremon up, I think, to 3, but the blue level 5s are a little better this time around. On to the level 6s, starting off with the 1 Mirage Gagomon. They put it to 1, so I'm going to play 1. That's 4 to Digivolve. It has when Digivolving, return one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon to the owner's hand. If no Digimon is returned by this effect, your opponent adds the top card of their security. So it's an easy way to chip away at their security without triggering any security effects. And then all turns, once per turn. When an effect adds cards to your opponent's hand, gain 1 memory for every 4 cards in your opponent's hand. So it usually is Digivolving for much less, usually 2, if not for 1. Because like I said, you're adding cards to your opponent's hand by Gagomon, and then they're going to search naturally as well. For the next level 6, we have 2 Hexablow. Hexablow, 4 to Digivolve, and has security attack +1 and Ice Clad. When Digivolving, trash any 4 Digivolution cards under your opponent's Digimon. Then, if your opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution cards, return one of their Tamers to the bottom of the deck. And then your opponent's turn, none of their Digimon with as many or fewer sources as this Digimon can suspend. So it is a pretty powerful floodgate. You're basically, hybrid decks are never going to be able to swing at you, and then if you're stripping sources, you're able to prevent them from swinging as well. It also gets rid of Tamers, so usually that is pretty important. The other plus on this deck is you don't strip sources as much as the normal Iceclad deck, but you build a really big stack, so you're usually going to have more sources than them no matter what. So Iceclad really helps out there. And for the next level 6, we have 3 Invisimon. So this is the new addition to the deck. It essentially replaced the other 3 Mirage Galgamon. So Invisimon has 3 to Digivolve, and first off, it has a security effect. End of opponent's turn, play this card without paying the cost. On play, when digivolving, de-digivolve 2 one of your opponent's Digimon, and flip your opponent's top face-down security card face up. Then delete one of their Digimon with 1 or fewer Digivolution cards. Your turn, when your Digimon check face-up security cards, you may place this Digimon's top stacked card face up as your bottom security. So basically, he will flip your opponent's security card face up. You attack into it with him or even anybody really. It'll check that, then his effect will activate to place him into your security face up, and then at the end of your opponent's turn, he'll play himself back out, flip their security face up, de-digivolve something, likely delete something. So it gives you just another form of removal. It gives you de-digivolve, which this deck didn't really have before, so it's pretty good there. And then obviously the deletion is also very welcome. Before, you only have bounce. And then for the next level 6, we have 2 Medieval Gallantmon. Medieval Gallantmon is also another new form of deletion. The Medieval Gallantmon only digivolves over the Flaremon, but he has an effect of when this Digimon would be played, by suspending 2 Digimon, reduce the play cost by 4. So you're able to play him out for 7 usually, and he's basically a 6 ace without the overflow. He's only 11k DP, but when digivolving, you may suspend 1 Digimon, then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8000 DP or lower. For each other suspended Digimon, add 3000 DP to this effect's minimum. So basically, you delete something 8000, if you suspend something, it'll delete for 11,000, and so on if there's another suspended Digimon. He does not include himself though, so you can only count on the other Digimon. But he also has Alliance, and all turns once per turn when Digimon are played, you may activate one of this Digimon's when digivolving effects. So he's a floodgate on his own. If your opponent plays anything out, you can almost immediately delete it depending on how big the body is. And then when you play something out, you're able to do the same thing. So your opponent has to worry about it on both players' turns, and they basically have to out this as quick as possible. And then I'm playing 1 Apollomon, so this will go over any of our level 5s because he digivolves over blue or over red. When digivolving, he has Blitz, then for every 3 cards in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, it gains security attack +1. So if you're able to just keep cycling with the Lunamon and the Chronomon, you can basically get 3 checks out of this and make him clear out security really quick. And then your turn, once per turn, when a card is removed from your opponent's security stack, delete one of their Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon's DP. And like I said, with Flaremon and Firemon, you're able to get him a little bit bigger. Usually you're at 14k, sometimes you can get to 16k. And for the last level 6, I'm playing kind of a lot in this list. We have Gallantmon X Antibody, so he digivolves for 4 over your blue or red, so he will also go over all of your 5s. And when digivolving, when attacking, you basically won't get that one because it's only if you have Gallantmon or X Antibody. And then the next when digivolving and end of attack, once per turn, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 10,000 DP or less, and if it did not delete, trash their top security card and this Digimon unsuspends. So it's pretty good for when you've already swung with Invisimon. Invisimon will go to security. You're able to Digivolve over this. You trash another security, unsuspend. Usually passes turn, but you have a big body on board that is unaffected by your opponent's Digimon effects until they pass the memory back over to 0. And just to clarify that, all turns while you have 0 or less memory, this Digimon isn't affected by your opponent's Digimon effects. So he gives himself protection as long as you're at 0 or less, and he's pretty good. Definitely would consider playing more, but as you can see, the 6 slot is kind of tight. On to the 7s though. Have Imperial Dramon Paladin Mode Ace. So this is just another ace. You usually have a level 6 body on the field. He has on play when Digivolving, trash all Digivolution cards of all of your opponent's Digimon, then return all of the cards in your or your opponent's trash to the bottom of the deck. This effect returned a level 7 white card, gain 3 memory. When attacking, by returning one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards to the bottom of the deck, unsuspend this Digimon. So basically you're able to get rid of all of their sources, and then if he lives, you're able to swing, bottom deck something, swing, bottom deck something until they're out of guys without sources. And if you just happen to return a 7 that is white, you gain the memory. That one does not come up very often, but sometimes this card's just a blowout, so feel like you kind of got to play him. And then for the new level 7, we got Omnimon X Antibody. He has Raid Piercing Blocker. He Digivolves for 6 over our blue or reds. And then on play when Digivolving, if Omnimon or X Antibody, you don't get any of that, but then return one of your opponent's Digimons to the bottom of the deck. So basically you Digivolve into him and you can return something to the bottom of the deck. End of your turn, once per turn. One of your Digimon may gain Rush for the turn and attack without suspending it. So he's kind of just a game finisher if you've swung with basically anything. So Palamon's a good example. You swing with him, if you've kept turn, you're able to just go into this, swing again, and if Palamon cleared out the last of the security, that would just be the check for game. And you're also clearing a body with it if they have any bodies that stuck around. On to the Tamers. We're just playing 4 of the Ko and Sayo. 4 to play cost. It is a memory setter, so at the start of your turn, if you have 3 or less memory, set it to 3. On play and main, by suspending this Tamer and placing the top card of one of your Light Fang or Nightclaw trait Digimon as that Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card from your hand without paying the cost. So this is another way to get into your 6s and 7s for free. If you have 2 stacks, you're able to just cycle the 1 stack to the bottom, and then you can Digivolve into the other one for free. Or it also helps you build up your stack for a Palamon or just getting extra sources in there. So you're able to cycle more, search more. And then it always sets you to 3, and then if you bring up a Coronamon, you're able to go to 4 and start out with a pretty healthy amount of memory. And then the last card in the deck is 4 of the Wisteria Memory Boost. It's a blue card, but red also meets this card's color requirement. Main, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 blue or red Digimon among them to the hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck, then place this card in the battle area. And then it has main delay, gain 2 memory, just like all the other memory boosts. And then the security effect is to just place this card in the battle area. So it just gives you another way to search every card in your deck except for the Tamer, but that's why we play 4 of them, so you're able to see it. And then the level 4 search the Tamer, so it's not that big of a deal. So I got first place at a 3-round locals. Round 1 was against a Magnamon Toolbox deck. Game 1, he just was not able to get into Magnamon X Antibody to slow me down at all, so I was just able to kind of clear his small bodies and swing away at security. And then game 2, he walled me out for a little bit, but he wasn't able to get immunity on Magnamon, and I was able to win from there. Round 2 was against Jessmon, and I basically was just faster than game 1 and game 2. So really, he got immunity on from Genku one turn, but after the immunity wore off, I was able to just clear the board and swing for game. And then round 3 was against Ice Snow, and game 1 I pretty much wasn't able to play very much. I got into a 6, and then he just stripped all my sources and lost from there. Basically got OTK'd. Game 2, the opposite happened. He wasn't really able to play, and I just was able to swing for a game. And then game 3 was pretty back and forth, and at the end I was just able to establish a couple bodies, and then there wasn't an out to my board, so that was game 3. I also took this to a Win-A-Mat event, and I got second in that. That one was also 3 rounds. Round 1 was versus Sakuyamon. I took that 2-0. Game 1, it was just missing pieces. In game 2, I just was able to go a little faster and able to pop the stacks that he did go up into. Was able to go up into level 7, but was able to de-digivolve it and destroy it. And then round 2 was against Safagamon, the Green Birds. That one, I was able to take 2-0. Basically, he has to play out on the board, and I just clear out the board. So that one was fairly simple matchup. And then round 3 was versus Gallantmon X Antibody. That one I lost 1-2. Round 1, I was able to just go faster and clear out all the security. Palamon just checking 3 security 2 turns in a row just kind of wins you the game. And then game 2, I kind of bricked, wasn't able to play really, didn't see a rookie. And then game 3 was very back and forth. I was able to make a few stacks, but he basically outed it every time with Gallantmon X Antibody. So I lost that one 1-2, got second. Deck still performed pretty well overall. For your starting hand, you usually want to see one of the 2 rookies. Obviously, Lunamon is a little bit better, and then you want to see either the Tamer or the option, or one of your search on plays. So the Lekis, Phyra, and Agumon. So you would Digivolve into Lunamon, and then ideally you will hard play one of these 3. And if they don't answer these on their turn 1, you gotta search turn 1, usually 1 or 2 cards, and then turn 2 you're able to push up, bounce 1 to hand, gain extra memory, and then Digivolve and go up the line that way. If you do get Coronamon, it's not bad to play out the Wisteria memory boost or just play out the Tamer, because then you're starting at 4 memory depending on what else is in your hand. But for the basic Lunamon combo, you'll have a Lekis or a different level 4 out on the field, so you'll promote, you'll be able to bounce this to your hand, and you basically only need these cards. You will go into Lekismon, search the top 3 cards, and usually if you see this, you want to add this or the level 5 Cressemon. You're able to Lunamon to the bottom, then Sunmon effect will activate. You're able to go into Galgamon and draw a card, gain a memory back, so you Digivolved for free there. Then you can go into Cresse for 1, and then into any of your 6s. And usually Invisimon's pretty good to go into, because you will be de-Digivolving something and deleting a body. And then if it's still your turn, you're able to swing and then have Invisimon go into your security to be able to play itself back out next turn. And then you're able to go into any of your other level 6s. If you're lucky enough to have the 1-of for the Mirage Galga, you're getting rid of another security and gaining memory back. Or the Hexablow if you want to prevent them from attacking you and get rid of a Tamer. So the deck performed pretty well for me. You can always make a ton of changes to this because it's so versatile. Right now, I really want to bump the level 3s up a little bit and either play another one of the Agumon Or if you think you're going to a heavy like Royal Knight meta, you're able to play Solarmon because it digivolves over red and your eggs are red, and then almost all of your fours can digivolve over it if you so need to. Just hard to find something to cut. Really, it would have to be a level 6 or a level 7, or possibly one of the option cards. The other way you can go about it is play more of a red base and play more of the red level 5, and then you're able to do like Dinomon and then more of the Apollomon, and then you're able to digivolve into Medieval Gallantmon more consistently. And then the other way you can go is go fully blue and do Ryugamon and Dianamon. You're able to strip sources and prevent your opponent's Digimon from suspending, or Ryugamon that returns their stuff to the bottom of deck, so it's a bit more of a control style. Another card I'm thinking of adding is Blue Scramble, because you're able to play out the Lunamon, and if you're able to play out Lunamon, you can usually bounce something, gain 2 memory, and you have a pretty good starting point to your turn from there. Plus it will also reduce your Digivolutions into your 6s, so that you're able to keep turn easier and deal a little more damage that way. That was my Galaxy deck profile. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like, and thanks for watching.